Salute family and welcome back to another video. This is Black Truth United, and today we're going to be covering a subject that I don't see a lot of people covering in depth, but it's definitely a threat to our community. I've heard people pussyfooting around this particular subject, whether that's because they know people who are involved in MLMs and don't want to offend anyone, or they don't truly recognize the profound threat that they are. So it's my job, definitely as a watchman, to warn our people. And hey, if this helps one person or two people, I'll count that as a success story. Also, feel free to share this with anyone you know who's involved in this type of company. I want to go in depth in this particular video and keep our people away from wasting a lot of time and money on these MLMs. So the question that you see on your screen is if MLMs, which stands for multi-level marketing companies, are cancerous economic tumors or legitimate businesses. Some of you already know my stance in the B1 Rolodex in the intro and help section. Under the restricted categories for the business listings, multi-level marketing is the first one there, and network marketing is another name that's used, and of course there are a few other restricted categories that are also included inside of the B1 Rolodex. So let's get the obvious out of the way first. Yes, I am aware that Madam C.J. Walker was the creator of the multi-level marketing company model. However, what she did back then is far different than what we have going on today. And no, she was not one of the birth mothers. She was the birth mother of this model. And let me read this excerpt because this will be a very obvious contrast to what we see today. Walker paid generous commissions, proliferating sales into ever-expanding markets, and providing black women solid paths to escape poverty by becoming door-to-door representatives. Her model was fair and just. It paid generous commissions and wasn't a predatory company that took advantage of people. Now we'll look at what MLMs are today. A sales strategy in which the sales force is financially incentivized to recruit and sell inventory to additional salespeople, and which can sometimes be construed as an illegal pyramid scheme. It almost always is an illegal pyramid scheme, where the people at the bottom are doing literally all the work and very few people at the top are getting all the cash. Now these companies do recruit people of all different backgrounds. Typically they target the poor and downtrodden, those who are poor, unsuspecting folks with aspirations for financial independence. But you'll soon find that anyone who gets himself or herself involved gets further and further away from any kind of independence. And what these companies do is they rely on a lot of psychological tactics in order to essentially con people. I want you all to look up this book called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. This is a great book that outlines a lot of the psychological tactics that are used to manipulate people into doing things that they wouldn't normally do, essentially coercing them into conning themselves. And while these MLMs do mainly catch people who are downtrodden, they also occasionally do catch people who are affluent, people who are business owners, doctors, lawyers. Anyone can be duped. So you do have to watch out for these kind of things. And if you're over on my Patreon, which is down there in the middle, I do have a free PDF copy of that book. So shameless plug if you want to avoid spending the money on Amazon or wherever else you buy books from. Alright, with all that being said, I'm going to transition into showing you some of the signs to look out for so that you are not conned into getting involved in one of these MLMs. So whenever you see these things, watch out. You may be getting into an MLM. No genuine, tangible product or service. Now again, these scammers, because I'm just going to call them what they are, they're scammers. The people at the top, not the people who are likely talking to you. But these scammers have evolved over time. Some of them will have a product, but it'll be way overpriced, or it'll be a general service like training videos you can look up on YouTube. The second one is a lack of external revenue, so that dips into the products and services. But it could also be grants, funding, real estate income, anything that a normal business has, they lack. And so what that's letting you know is their whole entire business model is set up based on you and your finances, not external revenue. High pressure sales tactics, these deal with the psychological manipulation tactics, which they almost always use. And they're very good. They're con artists, alright. A lot of times the people will have high energy presentations and will quickly dismiss anything that you bring up that's a legitimate concern, working off of emotions and pathos and ethos rather than anything logical. Another thing to look out for is if it's claiming to be quick and easy. Oh, you just have to hook up your bank account and sign in here or join this subscription and all your problems will be solved. You don't need to have any experience. All those kind of catchphrases should be immediate alarms. And most of the time, the old saying is true. If it sounds too good to be true, it typically is. Now, this next point deals with a part of the dismissal. The company will often get a figurehead or some kind of reputable company or person to co-sign them so that they automatically look legitimate. This could be something as simple as featured in this or that publication. But for those who don't know, you can pay to be featured in any of these publications. You can pay to get stories written about you. You can pay to be on the front page. You can pay to get people to co-sign you or to give you a gold star, especially if your business is new or at least hasn't been used for a scam yet. But I digress. The next thing to look out for would be the upfront fees, such as expensive starter kits or investing in training. Most of the time the training is nothing significant, nothing unique, stuff that you can find out via YouTube videos, overpriced or unreturnable products/services. We kind of covered that earlier. I also glanced over the act now factor. They always want you to act fast, but when it comes to you getting anything in return, it's always slow. And that dips into the next point. A complex commission structure. Almost every single MLM I've ever encountered has a complex commission structure. Always pay attention when it's time to get paid, and for some reason there's a whole bunch of extra paperwork, a whole bunch of extra hoops. You got to do the hula hoop, the two-step, the electric slide. You have to jump over a building, run 400 marathons, and then dunk into a 75-foot basketball hoop before you get paid. There are all kinds of confusing, complex compensation plans dealing with how you get paid. Well, instead of paying you in cash, we'll give you some cryptocurrency. Well, instead of paying you in cash, we'll give you more product that you can sell, which in turn could eventually lead to you gaining more customers, which will make you jump up the ranks, and you could forgo your cash and just jump to the next level, which will 2x your future investments, but only if you buy through the... It's always something complex. It's always something complicated. Always pay attention when it comes time for you to get paid and there are extra hoops. Alright, the next one should be obvious, an emphasis on recruitment. And these people don't care about your family. They don't care about your friends, your network. They don't give a damn about any of that. They're all about numbers. They're all about cash. How much money can you make for them? Period. So they'll encourage you to recruit people you don't even know, recruit people you just met last week, recruit people as you're walking down the street. Just recruit. And what they do is they create enforcement arm cult-like communities. These communities will often have group meetings where people gather around. A lot of times they call them support meetings. And in those meetings, the next point there, a lot of blame game tactics are used. Well, you just haven't progressed. You just haven't made this much money because you haven't recruited enough. Well, you just haven't sold enough items. Well, you didn't buy in at the biggest package level. You should have bought in there. Then you would be where I'm at. Ooh, I'm about to advance to the next level. Get on my level. And so it's a whole bunch of gaslighting, a whole bunch of nonsensical babble. Typically people go to these meetings to try to find justification for why they're staying in the MLM instead of just getting out. And also these communities create a plausible deniability for the evil company, because when something goes wrong, for example, if the company goes belly up, the recruiters are looking at one another instead of looking at the fat cat behind the scenes who's raking in all the cash. And with that last point, a lot of times instead of focusing on personal sales, they'll try to get you to recruit so that other people will get sales for you and you don't have to do anything but just sit back and relax. And by nature, it creates a pyramid structure with very, very few people getting good money and a whole bunch of people wasting a lot of time and energy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through a few videos of different MLMs, and I'm going to have you all do an exercise as far as looking for the different things. Now before I get started, I want to remind YouTube or whatever platform this will be on that this is fair use. Fair use. Alright, let's roll the footage. This is an opening trailer for an MLM company. Notice the music, notice every single detail, all emotional, all grandiose. Just keep that in mind. Nothing has really been said up until this point. Just a whole bunch of claims of legitimacy. And while some of these people know what's going on, a lot of these people are very unaware, sadly. This should have been a talking point in and of itself. Watch out for the word opportunity. It's almost always a scam. A whole lot of emotion, nothing real solid, just a whole bunch of fluff. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to see the actual presentation that the company Ormeus Global would give to each recruit. But before I do that, let me point this out. The YouTube video had the comments turned off. This is a good indicator that something was amiss with the company. Notice this was 7 years ago. So, very interesting. And the same will be true for the video that we're about to see. Comments are turned off, and don't be deceived by the view count. This video was likely shared in a whole lot of private settings, possibly on their website, whatever it may be. But anyway, before I continue, let me flash these signs to look out for one more time. Alright, hopefully you got a good look. Now let's get into the actual presentation that they would be giving at that event.
Every moment of your life, every decision, every victory, every defeat, every step forward has brought you here.
This is a psychological tactic. What they said is true. Every single thing that you've done has led you to that point. So psychologically, you're in the state of agreeing with them because what they just stated was true, but it was so general, anyone can say that about anything. If you're at a traffic light, every single step that you took and every single thing that you did in your life brought you to this point. Duh. The hell does that mean?
To the present, where all possibilities exist. You can never go back, but the way forward is open. There is one path that always leads to success. One sure pathway that will never fail. One path that brings you to fulfilling your life's goals.
A lot of times these companies present themselves as the only way out of your current predicament, your current financial troubles, whatever it may be.
It is the path to the center, the path to balance, wholeness, health, and wealth. All of it. The path that unlocks your true potential. Welcome to Ormeus Global, where you can discover your center. This is the place for you to discover what treasures lie within and how to attract them into your life.
What does that even mean? I mean, does anyone listening right now understand what they're even talking about? It's all so general. But anyway, let's keep it going.
Let's explore the Ormeus Global journey together. We begin by discovering the center of knowledge, Inner Quest. It's a learning ecosystem offering cutting-edge interactive online learning. It's a high-tech platform that offers self-paced, self-guided classes.
Remember what I told you, you should be taking mental notes or writing down commonalities. Also, like most cults, these companies always have a particular lingo that they use to identify who's a part of the con, or rather who's been conned.
Our flagship curriculum is called the Cryptocurrency Mastery Series, and it is one of the first certified cryptocurrency courses of its kind. Learn all you want to know about how to buy, sell, trade, and use the new digital currency, Bitcoin, and others.
Granted, this was 7 years ago, so it was, I guess, relatively new during that time, but you could have learned this kind of stuff using YouTube and other platforms. You didn't have to pay them for this knowledge. It wasn't exclusive.
We're always adding more courses, and we'll include a variety of subjects from personal development, health, wellness, and other topics that our representatives suggest to help you stay on the right path toward personal and financial success. Ormeus Global also includes a rich set of cryptocurrency wealth-building resources to help you confidently buy, sell, and exchange digital currency. Ormeus Coin, our very own digital currency, is tied to many exciting new income-producing opportunities.
Oh Lord, the company itself has its own coin. Just red flags should be popping up left and right. It's almost sad. Some people right now are probably laughing. It's really not even funny. This is just sad at this point for anyone who got involved in this. The signs are so clear. This is a straight up scam. But to be fair, you do have people around you probably egging you on, telling you, "Ooh, I invested this much. Ooh, I did this and that." So you have those kind of influences in your ear trying to push you to buy, again with those high pressure sales tactics.
Ormeus Master Trader is an amazing online trading platform that allows you to mirror the trades of a top professional trader without the time, hassle, and risk of attempting to master it yourself. Mastering Forex trading can be quite challenging. Instead, you can actually mirror an experienced trader without any previous knowledge or experience trading.
When you know what to look out for, you see these kind of people coming from a mile away. Don't be afraid to take a screenshot of the list that I made for your own use whenever you have these quote-unquote opportunities popping up.
Why not let a pro do it for you? Simply deposit Bitcoin into a secure account. Our master trader makes strategic trades, and your account automatically mirrors each one. All the benefits, zero learning curve, and none of the late nights watching your computer screen to make a trade.
Come on now, family. Just deposit your money and we'll take care of the trading for you. We'll do all the trades. And you can just mirror everything we do. There are just so many ways this could go wrong.
Ormeus Global is also proud to announce our second trading opportunity.
Oh Lord, there's always a second or third.
That has no relationship to fiat currency. We're talking about completely automated trading, the kind that doesn't rely upon human intervention. As you know, Forex trading involves trading international currency pairs, such as the US dollar against the Japanese yen, for example. But now there are literally thousands of cryptocurrencies in the world. We can do the same thing in this emerging arena. 2xb89 is a bot trader that employs a sophisticated algorithmic trading strategy. This exciting product offers up to 160% return in a completely automated, hands-off environment. Set it and forget it.
Yeah, forget it because you're not going to get a dime of that back. 160% returns. If it sounds too good to be true, it typically is.
Ormeus is more than learning and more than wealth building. We are also about achieving wellness. Through our line of Ormeus Chi energetic wellness products, you can achieve a happy and healthy life. But you can also share this amazing opportunity with others, build a team, and create yet another income.
Here comes the recruitment part of it. And I also want to note that a lot of times these companies will include a product because, as I mentioned before, a lot of these companies have evolved and they know that people are looking out for companies with no real products. So they'll start including products to scam the people who are already in the business. Instead of going vertical, they go horizontal by creating multiple scams under the same business. So they'll sell you healthcare products, or they'll sell you oils or vitamins or something like that, all way overpriced, like $80, and they'll pay $15 for it. And the person who's over you will get like $10. So it's all about scamming. There's always another scam. There's always another way to extract money from a mark.
The Ormeus Compensation Plan is the financial engine that propels our culture,
Pay attention here.
where you can receive a part-time, full-time, or even a legacy income to pass on to your loved ones. You've spent your whole life seeking happiness, fulfillment, and satisfaction. What if we could help you discover it in a place that no one can ever take it from you? What if we can help you mine the gold within and discover your center? Let your journey toward wealth, happiness, complete fulfillment, and satisfaction begin and end with Ormeus Global.
They didn't even explain it.
To learn more about the Ormeus Global opportunity, talk to the person who introduced you to this video.
So this gets into the person who recruited you, and imagine being the one who recruited a family member or a friend into this obvious scam.
Or visit us online at ormeusglobal.com. Ormeus Global. Discover your center.
Now, I know you all aren't going to believe me, but until I started creating this video, I didn't plan on doing the research behind this one. I just literally went on YouTube and started looking up presentations for multi-level marketing companies. It was such an obvious scammer company that I didn't even think to research what the end result was. But let me show you what the website is today. And yes, you're seeing this right. If you type in Ormeus Global, you are now redirected to this Ghanaian scammer website. So likely what happened with the company is that it got into some kind of legal trouble, ended up selling the website to recoup some funds or distance itself from the scam, and some Ghanaian scammer company bought it off of them. So that's a domain redirect. And I did some more digging, and bam, the SEC charged this particular company with $124 million in crypto fraud. Ormeus coin. You probably won't believe me that I didn't do this research beforehand, but I really didn't. This was taken after I went over the video. So imagine being the one who got your friend or family member involved in this. And I do have people relatively close who have gotten involved in scammer multi-level network marketing companies, and it is not a pretty sight. This is why in a watchman role, we need to call out these MLMs and keep these cancerous tumors away from productive FBA society. So now we're going to be looking at one more MLM, and this is a more common one. It's a little less scammy than the other company that we just covered, but it still is by nature multi-level marketing, in which a lot of people at the bottom are making a very few number of people at the top rich through doing all the recruitment, all the footwork in order to sell their products. And you've probably heard of this company before. It's called Mary Kay. So fair use, fair use. Let's roll the footage.
And then send it to your customers. Some people choose to start with some inventory on hand. So I'm going to go that route because that is what I did 3 decades ago. Okay. I started when I was 23 years old, and I really did not have any money. I worked a full-time job, but after I paid my bills, I still had no money. So I just thought there's no way I could do this, but I found a way to get some money.
There's always a way for people who are from the so-called dominant society to get some money. She's ignoring the fact that she's a beneficiary of the system of white supremacy.
To get a little bit of product on hand. Why? Because the girl that I bought from, she always had it. Like, I ordered it and she had it right there to give me. And I'm an impulse buyer. So I knew that I wanted to have products on hand to give to customers when they wanted it. And so that's how I've run my business. So just up front, know this is your decision, and you have to make the best decision for you and your goals and your aspirations in Mary Kay. All right. So there is a level of a $600 wholesale order. That's what you pay. Wholesale is what you pay. Retail is what you sell it for. Okay. So you pay $600, you get $1,200 worth of product. So when you sell it all, you have made $600. All right. And when you do that, at least that in the first 15 days of signing up, within your first 15 days, then you get a business color, you get a color look worth $138.50. This is it right here.
Notice how they're not giving you any money. They're giving you more products, which they can probably source for a very small fee. Now, whether you sell these products or not is completely up to you, but they've absolved themselves from paying you actual cash by giving you a trinket, in so many words.
And it is a compact with your cheek color, 3 eyeshadows, the brushes, mascara, eyeliner, lip liner, lip gloss, lipstick. Okay. What could you do with that? You could sell it if you already use Mary Kay. But if you don't, let's say you use some Mary Kay, this could be a look that you could wear every single day. And so that you could have something to not only wear on your face, show videos, and give you a start with a free look just for you. So that's $138.50 that you get free.
It's not free. Nothing is free. This is based on your crazy level of marketing expertise and selling to friends and family members.
and among other things. Okay, but this one right here is a 15-day deal. If in your first 15 days you do at least a 600 altogether, one single order, then you get that free. And you can earn free ultimate product bundles. So we're going to talk about those. So first of all, there's a little worksheet because you might say, I have no idea. Okay, which I surely didn't. So you want to answer these and add up the points. And so it says, what are your Mary Kay business goals? Well, what would you like to make per month in Mary Kay? $1,200 a month or more, 800 to 1199, 479, 100 to 399. So it's up to you and what your goals are. You might say, hey, if I just made $100 a month, I'd be happy. Then you can put 1 right there. If you're like, hey, I need to make a lot of money, you might want to put 4. Okay, so you put your points and then selling appointments. How many, with your schedule, what it is right now, how many selling appointments are you willing to do? And you could put your goals right here. 3 or more a week, 4 points. Now, I had a full-time job when I started Mary Kay, but that was my goal, is 3 a week. You know, I heard in training that 3 plus 3 plus 3, 3 parties a week, $300 a week, and talk to 3 people about the business opportunity a week. And that will get you where you want to go. And so
Now, I want you to note that she did this 3 decades ago. So $300 3 decades ago was way different than $300 in today's time. So very interesting how she's speaking about these units. They're essentially requiring less from their agents.
that was always my goal. You may say, hey, that's too much. I can't do that. I got 7 children or whatever. We actually have talk directors that have 5 or 6 children. So that's not an excuse. But anyway,
They always dismiss people's concerns, actual family time, and things that are meaningful. It's always a dismissal of things that are truly important. That's no excuse. Let's keep it going.
if you want to do 1 to 2 appointments a week, you put 3. If you want to do 2 to 3 a month, you're going to put 2. If you say, hey, I might do an appointment every now and then, just put 1 right there. And then success meetings. Success meetings are either in person or on Zoom, whatever your director is set up for you. Ours is on Zoom because we have people all over the United States. And right now they're on Monday nights at 7:30. And so if you're committed to getting on there and getting some training, connecting with your director.
Notice what I said about the support groups. There's always some kind of support platform, and I guarantee you it's a blame game meeting.
Then you're going to put 3. You're say, yeah, I'm going to get on them. I'm going to do what I need to do. Are you committed to attend them twice a month? You can put 2 points. I'm committed to attend when they fit in my schedule. You can put 1. All right. I went to every one because I knew I didn't know what I was doing and I needed help. Okay. And then goals. I would like to build a solid customer base. You just want to build a good, solid customer base. You're going to put 2 points right there. I would like to earn fabulous prizes and recognition.
Notice no cash has been talked about. It's all about customer base and notoriety. Nothing as far as cash. So already they're framing the goals that you would have as something other than financial independence.
I like to win. You can put 2 points. I would like to become an independent sales director. I like the thought of being a consultant is great, but honestly, I want to be in leadership. And so you're going to put 2 points there. Or I just like to earn a little extra income. And you can check all of these that apply.
Notice that income part was at the very end, and she said a little extra.
All right. So you're going to put it down there. And then you're just going to add up your points. And then when you add up your points, you're going to look right here and you're going to see if you have 13 or more points, then this level, this 3,600 may be what you might want to start with.
Damn! And I want you to note that the company has not come out of pocket at all. You're the one buying the product from them. They're essentially just giving you a license to sell their product. In other words, it's no different than buying a variety pack of candy bars and having an exclusive license to sell those individually. You already paid for the candy bars, so the company already made its money. Now it's up in the air whether you'll get your money back, and it's all promoting them.
And if you have 2 to 4 points, the first level may be where you want to start. So this just gives you a great guide to know, according to your goals, according to what you plan to put into it, what you plan to put into your training, and some of your goals and desired monthly earnings of what you would need. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, so we'll just talk about planning your initial order. So how it works is you're going to decide how much you want to start with. All right. You might say too, it should be put up here. How are you going to pay for it? That's what I said. Well, yeah, I'd like to start with the big one. How am I going to pay for it? So there's different ways to pay for your first initial order. First of all, you may have it. You may have it in your checking account, or you may have it in savings. You may have it as something you were going to invest some money in. Well, this could be an investment in your business. And we like to think of it as an investment, not debt. Debt is when you buy a couch. All right. Investment is when you buy something you can turn around and sell and double your money. That's the difference. All right. So
most of the time it ends up being debt and not an investment. Most people who start these programs do not make up the money that they quote unquote invest. So it was essentially an expensive purchase. And I want you to notice when it came down to them getting paid, it was all about, I don't care where you're getting it from. We need our cash. Credit, debit, savings, anything. You need to pay. When it comes to you getting paid, it's all about paying you in the form of more product that you could sell. It's all a game. And that's why when it comes to these companies, I'd much rather just pay a brother or sister who has his or her own company in the B1 Rolodex. If you're looking for makeup, just type in makeup. Use Control-C in the B1 Rolodex. There are plenty of companies there. So I can just skip through, look for one that sells online, click the link, and get directed to a place that sells, which you would otherwise get from a multi-level marketing company. So the end result of most of these MLMs include a loss of time, the most valuable non-renewable resource, a loss of money. Almost always, it's more profitable for you to just deliver pizzas or work as a secretary or whatever, take a part-time job and stack your money rather than getting involved in these MLMs. Stack your money up and do something on your own. Real legitimate business. Another end result will be it discouraging you from real business endeavors. Now the key word here is real. Occasionally you'll have people who are in MLMs who will switch from one MLM to the other. Now I'm in this network marketing agency. Now I'm with this person. Now I'm selling this product. Now I'm doing that. So these are not real businesses, and at some point you just have to realize that these people are addicted to being scammed. So there's no real help for them until they're willing to look at the facts. But I'm not really talking about those people. I'm really talking about people who are actually trying to do legitimate business. A lot of times, people who get involved in these MLMs end up exhausting their entrepreneurial energy, and they lose confidence in their ability to actually achieve great things as a legitimate business owner, not someone linked to some scammy MLM. And then the last part is it ruins your reputation and good network. A lot of the people that you recruit, or even the ones who don't fall for your recruitment tactics, will at the very least give you a side eye when you bring up any other thing. It's almost like the boy who cried wolf. You also may destroy friendships or relationships due to a loss of money and time. It's just terrible. It just destroys your network. People don't trust you. In conclusion, MLMs are in fact cancerous economic tumors to our society. They need to be rooted out. And if you found yourself involved in an MLM and want to get out, my advice is to cut ties immediately and get whoever you recruited out as soon as possible. Let them know what's going on and start refocusing your energy on things that will yield many more positive results. So with that being said, thanks for tuning into this video. Be one and be blessed, family. Peace.